Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another edition of the Free American Hour. I'm your host, Clay Douglas. And my guest today is Paul Ironshoe from Iconoclast Radio. Hello, Paul. Are you with me?
Yeah, how you doing this morning, Clay?
I'm doing pretty good. Now, you're doing a radio broadcast too. Tell me where you're broadcasting at, how you're doing this, and might as well tell me why. What brought you into broadcasting?
Well, what originally got me into wanting to do radio was, from a child, I used to drive, and you know, we only had one TV in my house, and so I'd end up watching whatever my father was watching, and we'd be driving down the roads. We did a lot of traveling, and he liked to listen to a gentleman by the name of Paul Harvey. And so I kind of, at a young age, got into keeping up with politics and being interested in what was going on. And it dawned on me one day that, you know what, this happened when I finally got over the illusion of Alex Jones. It dawned on me that, you know what, all I'm hearing is a bunch of just people spewing on the radio, and nothing has been done. And I said that no one is really bringing solutions, and everyone is basically doing radio that is just like itching ear gospel, something that someone wants to hear, and you know, makes them feel good inside, and makes them think that someone else is going to take care of this problem for them. So that's pretty much what got me involved in wanting to do radio.
Now, Alex Jones, I had Alex Jones on my shortwave show when he first started out, and I thought he did pretty good. I still think I've got a few clips of some of the things he's done, and he's been fairly accurate, but then again, good propaganda is 90% the truth.
Well, what Alex Jones, from what I've observed of him, and I don't spend a lot of time anymore, but what I see is he has great analysis to a point. He doesn't tell everything. He gives you about, I'd say about 80%, but he leaves out the 20% that puts the whole picture together. And you know, so he's, unfortunately, I get a lot of criticism and a lot of crybabies that are upset with me, no matter how much that I've exposed this guy, that he is nothing but a shill. They always come back to defend him, and I understand why, because psychologically, they're always looking for that savior that's going to do it for them, because they will never. And I'm at a point now, Clay. I am so pissed right now, and I don't have any confidence in the American people. I mean, it's kind of a negative thing to say, but I'm just sick of it.
Well, I certainly know the feeling. I did another radio show last night, and I had 2 or 3 people on the chat room that kept saying, "Oh, well, you're a liar. Well, you did this, you did that." You know, yeah. What have I ever lied about? You know, give me a specific here, and of course they couldn't do it. But a lot of this comes from the ADL or Mossad, and they put on people, actually on the payroll, to go on to chat rooms, to do radio shows like this, and attack people like me. Now, Alex, he doesn't, he just never talks about any Jewish connections because his sponsors are Jewish, his wife's Jewish, and you know, he has started talking a little bit about neocons, but again, you know, I'm not up to date on this because I rarely listen to other talk show hosts.
I stopped listening to Alex Jones back in 2004 when he always tells his listeners that if you disagree, call in and you'll go to the front of the line. Well, the day that I finally did that, Alex Jones basically told me that he didn't want to have the discussion because he did not like my attitude. I mean, a guy that is the most obnoxious, ambush radio type of individual that suckers people into his show. I mean, this guy he is insulting to individuals. He had on some guy named Paul Joseph, the guy from Zeitgeist. Now, I don't agree with Zeitgeist, but you don't bring the guy on. And I mean, he actually went and took that interview down off the net. If you could have heard the way that he was speaking, he really sounded like he was on drugs. And quite frankly, Alex Jones, I've come across internet pieces where John Stadmiller was accusing Alex Jones of being on drugs, and Alex Jones was accusing Stadmiller of being on drugs. Now, this is coming from people who worked with them and ended up putting this stuff on the internet. Now, I don't have any proof that they are on drugs, but I've heard Alex Jones speak in some of the most unprofessional, and I'm not just talking about being disrespectful to people, but I mean incoherent. And he's a liar. I actually did a piece the other day. Now this is very telling. A caller called in and said to Alex Jones, "Have you ever had on a guy by the name of Mark Stevens?" And he says, "No, I've never had him on." He said, "Well, he has some." The caller said he had some really good information, and you should think about putting him on. And then he says, "Well, you know what? I think I might have had him on in the past." So first he says he doesn't, then he says he does. Then the caller went on to say, "Did you actually sell a tape to ABC 2020 of the John Gray family?" He says no. Now, anyone that has listened to Alex Jones from I'd say back from 95, this guy was definitely involved in getting the Gray family jammed up with the sheriff, and yet he goes on to deny that he had any involvement. So I had to put up a video a couple days ago of the ABC clip that shows Alex Jones is heavily involved with that issue. And also, it just ties in another thing that the caller had asked him on his show was, is Garbage Can Network, GCN, affiliated with ABC? He went on to also say, no, it's not. So I had to go show how they are affiliated. The guy is just a complete liar. But you know what? That's what I'm sick of, man. There's so much stuff going on in this country right now. I mean, here's the top stories of the day today. Tiger Woods, for how many months now? Mel Gibson on the television every single day. And I guess that's the most important thing. Bristol Palin, Sarah Palin's daughter, she's going to be on American Idol. Now these are some of the top news stories of the day. I'm just sick of it. And then people wonder why we're having the problems that we're having, and not just having in this country, but also causing around the world. No one wants to take responsibility for this stuff. And I tell you, this stuff about itching ear gospel and telling the people what they want to hear, you know, I'm pretty sure that a lot of people are not interested in hearing the truth. They want to feel comfortable, like right around the corner, Alex Jones is going to do so much for them. And that's why I've got to be against people like that to the full.